Welcome to another segment with Dave and myself. We just did a thing on the for TI protection and whatever, so I decided to keep it on. This way the aliens won't bomb me and zing me in the head. And, protocols of Zionists won't zing me either. Anyhow, I'm going to get into all that whole thing. Anyway, here's a lens that we use, a microscope we use at the Green Show. And we were showing people how they had literally shit on their hands from nano, from the sky, from the food. One guy, a Jamaican fellow, good guy, said we were going to make a Mediterranean out of him. Started laughing. We had his hand under here, and so then we did the palm of his hand, and he looked at the palm of his hand, and he goes, "What's that doing in my hand?" He was in shock for about 5 minutes. That's all he kept saying. What's that doing in my hand? And he had these fibers, talking to him.
Yeah.
So we decided we'll see if we can replicate that for you. Now, we also had an apple under here. An orgasmically organic apple.
He just picked from one of the other people?
Yeah, they had these organic.
Yeah, tables and everything, yeah.
Got this, and there's a little dinky, apple. This is where they make the apple cider vinegar from the skin. That's why we tell people don't use apple cider vinegar anymore. Just go get the white vinegar, because all the studies that was done on vinegar was done on the white vinegar anyway, and apple cider vinegar sort of adapted it. But the apple cider vinegar, that mother, is made out of skins of apples, which is loaded with nanoparticles. Anyway, some people say, wow, anyhow, go get over it. But anyhow, the skin had a fullerene fiber growing on it. We had an orange skin. The orange skin looked like a road map of fibers. So we decided to look at it. So we looked at the top, and we said, well, it could have been a hair. All right, that's cool. Could have been a hair. So we flipped it, put it on the palm side. Unless you got hairy palms, most people don't have anything on their palms. So anyway, so we did that, put it on, and we adjusted the focus. And as you can see, I got particle matter all over my hand.
What's the magnification on this?
This one right now is at 200x. 600x goes up. So that's like 600x right there.
It's pretty sensitive to your movement, eh?
Yeah, at that point, yeah. You can see all these shiny metallic material. That's material from the sky. Yeah, we'll go back down normal. Oh, look at that fiber. And you see that fiber.
You were telling me, because we were looking at my hand, that these things are embedded.
Yeah.
Because I was trying to scrape it off with my fingernail and I couldn't.
No. There we go. That's a fullerene. Not a spirochete, which they tell you, oh, you got a spirochete. Spirochete my ass. That's a technology, a biological technology, integrated, which is now attaching itself to my proteins or my DNA, and is trying to assemble. And that's on the palm of my hands, and I use a scrub brush on my hands daily.
Sorry, the thing that you're saying they're trying to explain it off with, what is that? Like a fiber from a piece of clothing?
A bacterial or a virus or a parasite that they're saying people have inside of them. And what that is, again, the scientists and the bullshitters who are propagating this spirochete bullshit are not talking or looking at mimetics. And we mentioned the term mimetic a long time ago, and if you look at some of the nano video we did, we show you the mimetics. We had pictures of mimetics. They look like bacterium, they look like fungi, they look like algae, they look like mold, they look like viruses, they look like microbes, they look like protozoa. These are all synthetic. They're made with this technology. Anybody who does not know about nanobiology or synthetic biology would misinterpret what they're looking at as some kind of biological or pathological agent. In fact, It's a synthetic pathological agent. So when we're looking at this stuff under the scope, now, if you think I'm bullshitting you here, go order this. It's about 150 bucks. Or go get a normal microscope and see for yourself how loaded you are. If you think I'm playing a game, if you think I'm doing a sleight of hand, hey, go get a 60X. You know those 60X oculars? Just put it on your thing and you will see an amazing view of your palm. And you can take and go up and down your arms and, you know, whatever you've got that you can look at, and you might be surprised at what's on your skin. Now, some of you have gone to a dermatologist because you've got skin damage, okay? It's not that you have skin damage. You have nano damaging your skin. That's what's doing it. Look up in the sky. No, it's not a bird. It's a chemtrail plane, and it's dumping shit all over you. So don't be surprised that we're going to see more skin issues. And now 5G is around the corner. If 3 and 4G are activating these programs because they're written into the particles for expansion and networking, what do you think 5G is going to do to you and this stuff? Something you might want. You're going to need more than this, I'll tell you that.
So, I'm just as out of curiosity, like, if someone, so you do a lot of things to try and zap them, to try and kill them, or what have you. But when you're looking at these, should you be able to? What is that?
That's what came out of me a while back.
Look at the picture of the one we have on my skin.
Cool.
You don't want to do that, but should these be moving? Like, you know, if these things are
you can't see
programming, self-assembling, or whatever.
You can see them grow over a period of time.
So you wouldn't see the whole strand moving.
No.
But it's they're assembling and just becoming a bigger strand.
Yeah. There we go. That came out of my neck. It's assembling. See how it broke off? It created a second one, just like it. It's just a smaller version of it. So there's another one. So there's a chip that came out with it. See? This was assembling, networking. It was creating another network. See it? See how it's connecting there? See? They're intertwining. This one was breaking off from the other one. That's called assembling, networking. That's not a spearhead. Those are nano fullerenes. That C60 shit that they're selling, that's what that is. C60, carbon fullerenes. This is the bullshit about the health food industry. And this is why I'm telling you guys, quit listening to the effing gurus that are out there today who are doing nothing but propagating stuff. See, they just came out, DARPA came out with a new and improved way to access your brain, to simulate you or to attach you to the artificial intelligence. Elon Musk wanted to put a thread in your brain, which would have then released tentacles into your brain, which would then have connected to all parts of your brain, which then would allow a transmission from you to the artificial intelligence and back. The problem with that is you would have lost you. You would have no longer be you. You would now be an automaton of the AI because it would have overridden your processes and how you think and the way you think, because it is upgrading itself daily, regularly, without anybody's input. And by associating you as a program, it would have uptaken your program and then would have modified you. This is the game plan. A controlled race under an artificial intelligence. Some of you saying, well, isn't this going to affect them too? My point to you is this: who gives a shit what happens to them? Start thinking about what's happening to you. I don't want to think in terms of extracts. What's going to happen to them? I don't care what happens to the globalists. I don't care what happens to the people who believe in the protocols of Zion. I don't care what happens to the Illuminati. I don't care what happens to the Freemasonry. I don't care. They get assimilated, they don't get assimilated. What's that to me? I'm about me. I'm worried about my family. I'm worried about my associates. I'm worried about my network. I'm worried about my friends. That's what I'm concerned about. And that's what you should be concerned about too. This is going on. Now, the quicker you get your head out of your arse and out of the ground and start facing this reality, then you're going to start making the changes required, and you're going to start building stuff like I'm building to start fighting the war you need to fight. So don't ask the question, is it going to affect them? What does it matter? What does it matter? If they can influence us with this technology, do you not think they possibly might have the counter to it, just in case you get a hold of it and use it on them? Do you think possibly that could be a reality? It's my thinking. I'm a strategist. That's how I would think. If I've got a weapon and I'm using it against you, I may have the means to neutralize that weapon so that if you do by some chance get a hold of it, I can neutralize it before you do any damage to me. Just my thought processes. And if I'm thinking that way, they're far more elaborate than I am in their thinking. They have an AI what they're working with. So that Sophia piece of shit that's out there, that the Saudis made a citizen, a bunch of wiring algorithm programming that they gave a citizenship, and the Japanese also did this. What's wrong with the Japanese? I think they're drinking too much sake. Why would you do that? But anyway, now I'm not talking about the Japanese people, I'm talking about the government powers that be. So when we're looking at this stuff, don't be surprised at the fact that this is going on today. And you can take any food you like, the orgasmically organic, the vegan grass that the vegans chew on, you know, the chard and the collard greens and all that shit. Go ahead, take a look at that stuff. You will not touch another green leafy vegetable again ever. That's how saturated this stuff is. Go look at all your fruit. I'm telling you, if you're going to eat vegetables, they better be root-based. They'll still have it, but not to the same extent. If you're going to eat meat of any kind, you might need to start looking at neutralizing whatever might be in the meat. The animals will filter out a lot of it. Do not eat the organ meats. These idiots are telling you to eat the organ meats have no clue what the hell they're talking about. The organ meats have always been the meats that had the most shit in them. What do you think filters their blood? What do you think filters their respiratory system? What do you think filters them? It's the organs, just like us. Don't eat the liver unless it's an absolute necessity, life and death. Because if you eat the liver, it's going to be loaded with this nano. If you're going to drink your own piss as a part of piss therapy or urine therapy, you better filter it before you drink it. Because it'll be loaded with this stuff. And if you think I'm crazy, before you take the next drink of your piss, take a look at what you're drinking. You're reloading the system with those particulates. You might want to consider a filtration process before you do it. I have nothing against urine therapy, it does work, but today it has been sabotaged. So again, take a look at this. Take a look at the whole picture. You know, the lens doesn't lie.
What is this device called, in case people are curious? I know you said the 60x ocular, but
no, this is a 600x microscope, portable. Avistool, Avistool. Okay, Avistool. Again, if you can't afford this, go get a 60x ocular. They got the 6120s, they work just as well. We saw everything with them just as well. And they just be a little bit smaller. Take pictures. Show it to your neighbors. Hey, look, we got nano growing on our skin. I even took a picture of my woohoo, and guess what I saw? You know. So, and for you guys, I had one guy contact me and told me that those of you who are uncircumcised, that he pulled back his foreskin, went to proceed to look at it with a scope, and was amazed at what he saw underneath the foreskin. This is why we talked in an earlier segment about women and tampons. Because when you pull that thing out, some of those fibers get trapped inside your system. So when a guy goes inside and decides to light your fire, create ignition, those fibers can transfer over to the male. And if they started assembling or have an assembling process going on, guess what? The two shall become one in more ways than one. Not just through genetics, but through nano. So, keep it clean. Both sexes, keep it clean. You know, don't just go dipping your stick in anybody's oil well because you don't know what might come out. And I'm not talking STD, I'm talking about technology. You don't know today. You know, you got a partner, you're relatively clean, you might want to stick together. Just a thought. At least if you have those who have shared the nano together, stay together.
That's gonna be a new.
I'm just saying, those who have the nano together will stay together. You know. Some are gonna say, what? Some are probably never gonna have sex again. What do you mean? That's on my. What are you talking about? Get a scope, take a look. Ah. Put it under the lens. Oh my God. No, anyway. When you're women, you might have to have somebody take a look. You know. Well, actually, this will work. You can just sort of aim it and focus it. But anyhow, you might be surprised. Seriously, you know, all kidding aside, you know, it's not a kidding matter. They have violated our endocrine system with this bullshit, and now they're selling it to you in the health food store. Ooh, you need to get C60. Ooh, get that carbon in you, baby. Get that nano going. Feed the nano, feed the nano. And this is why I tell you all the time, no nano silver. And all these silver products in the health food industry is a hijack. For you guys, you take the nano silver, take your balls, put them on a guillotine and just let it fly, because that's what you're doing. You're castrating yourself, because that's what that stuff does. Nano silver, titanium, and cadmium are the three worst things for male physiology when it comes to the sac. The sac gets the tubes inside, literally, the nano silver shreds them. Go take a look. Go take a walk on the wild side and do some research. Nano silver toxicology toward male genitalia. Ooh, wait till you read that. You'll say, what? What do you mean my balls are gone? Kiss them goodbye. Just saw them leave the building. You just shred them to pieces, because that's what you're doing. And that's what they're selling you in this industry. Nano delivery. You know what nano delivery means? Nano delivery means we're going to go right to your DNA. Any strands that are broken in a double helix, the nano gets involved and assembles those strands back together, and now it's running its program in your DNA. Think about that, eh? All of a sudden, I turned off your immune system. Why are they giving free flu vaccines? You ever think about that? Are they dumping implants into you? Are they dumping nano into you? What are they dumping into you? Why would you let anybody, in today's time, put a needle inside of you with shit you don't even know what's in there? You need to ask these doctors before they start pumping anything into your body, can I see the ingredient list, please? And if he's not willing to show you the ingredient list, then tell him to shove the needle up his ass. Why would you be that trusting in today's times with these type of chemicals? Just my thoughts. And if you're going to inject a child with this shit, and you don't know what they're putting in there, you don't see the ingredient list, then my suggestion, like we talked about before, you be the brave one. Roll them up. Doctor, let me take the shot. I want to see what it's going to do to me before I give it to my kid.
My wife just read something interesting. Even for vaccines, there's a doctor out of the U.S., I think it's Michigan. She got charged by the courts because she was giving the low-income people, the people on state-sponsored Medicare, the privatized vaccinations. What's the difference? You know, even like, why would you have a separate set of vaccines for the state, for the state Medicare people versus the private healthcare?
As a private Medicare people, you're putting in the carbon full rings into their brain. Now we can control them. Poor people got nothing, so you got to kill them. Right? We can't have them controlled. I mean, that's a waste of control.
Yeah.
We got to get rid of them. So we got to give them the special vaccine. So then they die of cancer within 5 to 10 years, or maybe 3 years. Oh, wow, you got cancer. And so you're doing everything to get rid of the cancer. You can't get rid of the cancer because you got a program running in your body saying, produce cancer, produce cancer, produce cancer. All this silica that they put in the food supply since 1960. You can go back. I got it on my site. Nanotransformation. There's a PDF there about silica. And after you read that thing, don't write me an email saying, you need to tell me diatomaceous earth is no good. It's silica. It's a nanosilica. It's a lot of bullshit. You don't absorb it. See, this is the play on the words. Okay, absorption, how, if they're talking about absorbing it through normal dietary processes, they are correct. You don't break it down. You can't break it down. It's impossible for you to break it down. You don't have anything in your body that can break it down. But you can transfer it into the cells, and because it's so small, it can permeate and penetrate the colon and translocate through other parts of the body, and then start to assemble skeletal structure. Fibromyalgia did not happen until 10 years after they started putting it into the bread. Also, people couldn't walk. They were in a lot of pain. That's called fibrogenesis, causing the fibromyalgia to have occurred as a result of this stupid shit they put in the food supply. But you keep right. What about horse tail? Still silica. You can't break it down. And the reason why the horsetail works is not because of the silica, it's because of the other components of the horse. Have you ever read the ingredients of horsetail? What's in it? But the silica in it is not digestible. You cannot break it down. You can transfer it through the cells by either using phosphoric acid, a saponin, or fluorosilicic acid or oxalic acid, which if you consume fluorosilicic acid would burn a hole in your inside. Can't break it down. And now we have graduated from silica, which was superconductive, to a better superconductor called carbon C60 fullerene. 100 times stronger than steel, 3 times stronger than diamond, fully conductive, not semiconductive. I'm not sure where the hell they got that bullshit from. It is 100% non-resistant conductor. In other words, you run anything through it, light, electromagnetic, electricity, sound, heat, no resistance. It can transfer the heat factor up to 10,000 times. Can you imagine? You're eating this shit and it's going to wind up in your head. I can show you a picture. Yeah, and they do it all the time. You got a man's organ, he's about this big. Then you give him a pill and he's that big. Really? Before and after. Special effects is what that's called. To sell you product. Don't be gullible. Start looking up nano carbon 60 fullerenes toxicology. And after you read that and you listen to these bozos, then somebody is bullshitting somebody somewhere along the way. Okay? Don't be deceived with the sleight of hand. Here, I'm going to show you how the health food industry will bullshit you. Okay? This is the bullshit of the health food industry. I'm in the health food industry. I know the bullshit game. I'm going to show you this card. See this card? You see this card. Okay. Now I'm going to point you to the UPC code, because I got you focused on the UPC code. I want you to look at the UPC. See, now I got you distracted from looking at all the other stuff here. See, this other stuff may say danger, warning, poison, blah, 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 but I got you focused here. As long as I got you focused here, I can just sell you whatever bullshit I want to sell you. Now, you're so focused here, you're not seeing this. You're not seeing the color. You're not seeing what's behind scenes. You're just seeing what I want you to see. And that's how the health food industry sells you bullshit. Majority of these products today, I would say about 95% of them today, are not worth the money you're wasting on them. That's how bad it's become. This industry has gone from an ethical industry to a prostitute. It'll sell you whatever bullshit you want to hear to get you to buy whatever product they want you to buy. And it's not just the health food industry either. It's the pharmaceutical industry as well. Because the pharmaceutical industry now is buying out these nutraceuticals in the health food industry. And that's the problem. And I was in the health food store about 2 weeks ago, and some of the products that people were using that were owned independently by independents were bought out by the drug companies, and now they're saying the stuff doesn't work anymore. Like some of the enzymes, like the serapeptase, wasn't working like it used to. Pfizer bought out, I believe, Emergency, and it doesn't have the vitamin C in it that's listed on the label. These are things you're not aware of, and as a consumer, you're not privy to some of this information, but you can look it up. Okay, you can look it up. On my site, you have all kinds of nano information. Bye Bye Blue Sky has all kinds of illustrations and information on her site. Brian396 also has information on his sites. These are three probably the top sites you should be looking at for your information, and then go on in your own independent searches and university sites and nature sites and whatever, and you can see for yourself an untested technology which was released into the open market is now being used to hijack your health. We are now producing a synthetic biological agents with these materials that we've never experienced before. Our systems are not set to build, and it's constantly rewriting your DNA. Okay? And whenever time you give a kid a shot, it's a nano delivery method. When you're seeing the health industry selling you bullshit, it's on a nano delivery method. The pharmaceutical drugs are on a nano delivery method. Start paying attention, or the next time round you may be part of a machine. Being an automaton, I hear and obey. I hear and obey. You'll be wearing one of these, but with an antenna and wires attached, and you won't know who you are. You'll be like you'll have a designation like Star Trek Board, 6 or 9 or whatever the hell her name was. So anyway, you're not tired of ranting. You can see this for yourself. See the damage. You got pictures. You just saw the fullerene on my hand, and everybody has it. When we did this show, there wasn't one person that didn't have some shit on their hand. Understand what you're doing. Pay attention. Anything else?
Not that I can think of.
Okay, so we're done. Till the next segment, your health.